it's your girl Sharon, and I'm so happy and glad to be with y'all here today. So glad to sit down and have a little talk with y'all, what's going on in my mind, and just kind of getting this out there for anybody who may need to hear it. And keep in mind now, when you watching this, and if you enjoy it, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It's a little bell at the bottom. And what'll happen is every time I post something or every time I put something out there, you're going to get a notification that It's Your Girl Sharon has aired another episode. And I will be so grateful for your support, and I'll be so thankful for even your feedback. It's all good. It's all good. I am here to inspire. I am here to motivate. I am here to encourage. And what I want to talk to y'all about today, and I might get a little tear, I don't know, but it's serious to me because it is my story, right? And my story is I am fat and I am black. That's my story. That's where I had the lowest of the lowest in my life in my depression as a little girl. Because as a little girl, I was fat and black. And trust it and believe, I'm pretty sure some of you may understand or you may or may not, but as a little girl, those were some harsh words that I had to hear. And it all started, I think I was in first grade, right? I was in elementary school and I was in first grade, and I had this friend named Amanda, and I don't know where Amanda is or if she's still, this was first grade. So I'm so out of elementary school, I don't even remember how long ago, but I had a good friend named Amanda, and Amanda was light skinned, but she was cool. And me and this little girl, when PE time came, we would play. We would get on the swings, we would get on the playground and slide or whatever. We just did everything together during PE because back then that's when they had PE. Nowadays I think they have different stuff, which they still have PE, but we had PE every day at the same time every day in first grade, and as soon as we would get let out, as soon as we would go to PE, me and her would spot each other and we would link up and we would just play and have a good time. And while we played, she never made any comments about me, I never made any comments about her. We were just having a good time as little kids. And so one day we got a new student, and it was a Caucasian girl, white girl, and her and me and Amanda, we played together every day, but we wasn't in the same first grade classroom. But we became friends in PE, so that's how we linked up every PE. But the new girl was in Amanda's class, and I guess during class they just became really good friends or whatever. So I come out for PE, and I run over to Amanda, and she's with the new girl, and I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm like, oh, we got another person, we can play with. So I run up to Amanda and I'm like, hey, who's your friend? And she was like, I can't even remember the girl's name. But she was like, yeah, she's new. And I told her she can hang out with you and I. And that's what Amanda was like, she can hang out with us. So as I'm standing over there, the girl pulls Amanda to the side and whispers something to her. And I'm like, oh, okay, what is this about? So anyway, they come back, and the girl, I can't even think of her name. And she says, hey, she says, box of crayons. And I said, yeah, and she says, there's different colors in the crayons. And I said, yeah, duh, right? Yeah, there's different colors. And she said, well, me and Amanda are the lighter shades of the crayon, and you're the darker shade. So I'm like, what? I'm a kid. Yeah, right. And she says, well, the lighter shade people will play together, and the darker shade person can't play with us. And they ran off. I'm standing there as a little girl thinking, what just happened? Like, what did she mean? Light skin, different colors or shades can't play together. What did she mean by that? And as I'm watching them run away, I'm standing there like feeling upset, sad, right? And still didn't understand what was happening, still didn't get it. I couldn't believe that this new girl came along, and Amanda, who was my friend every day, they just ran off and didn't play with me the whole time PE. So the whole time of PE, y'all, I tell y'all, I cried. I was so hurt. I was so sad because I had nobody to play with that day. That was the first day I was at PE, and nobody's there to play with me. And I began to start self-shaming, which means I began to start hating the way I looked. And that's the worst thing that you can ever do to yourself. It starts self-shaming what you look like. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Faith. But I'm being honest because we do that so much today. Self-shame. We put people down, especially as women. We put each other down. We talk about each other. And I'm saying this not just to us, but to those little girls out there today that are being talked about, that are being treated wrong, treated differently. And I want that little girl to know that, guess what? It ain't gonna always be like that. And you're gonna have to learn how to stand up for yourself and learn how to love yourself. So what I want you guys to take from this, and please forgive me for crying, but I'm being real here. What I want you guys to take for this is, do not ever put yourself down. Do not self-shame, right? And this is what we're going to do. How to work on ourselves and how to work on not self-shaming or having low self-esteem. The first thing I think that we have to do is learn how to love ourselves, right? We have to learn how to accept who we are, what we look like. And I know for kids, it's a little harder because children are cruel. I mean, even as an adult, I see some of these kids, I'm like, oh my God, they are so cruel. But the cruelty is, and hopefully I'm saying this right, but sometimes the cruelty is honest, right? Little kids see what they see and they call it out. And we have to, as parents, we have to teach our kids, don't bully, don't talk about other kids. Don't do that because you don't know how you're hurting their feelings. And you don't want nobody to hurt your feelings. So what I'm saying is, the first thing is we have to learn how to love ourselves and teach our kids how to learn how to love themselves. It's very important because if before you know it, if you decide to self-shame yourself or to have low self-esteem, it will bother you so deep. It will put you in a deep hole. And mentally, you can't, it will hurt, it will even interfere with your mentality, the way you think of yourself. So you have to immediately try to turn that thing around. For adults, I think it's not as hard. It is hard, but we can talk to ourselves and we can motivate ourselves. But most importantly, it's our children that we have to sit down with and talk to. And if you don't have kids, maybe you're an auntie, maybe you're an uncle, but be involved in their lives, because as a kid, to be talked about and to be treated differently because you don't look like everybody else, it's a hard thing. And a lot of people, children, kids, are dealing with that, especially with this whole social media stuff, right? It's totally different when we was kids because we didn't have a lot of social media, cell phones. But today, a lot of kids are getting on these social medias and people are picking on them. You don't look like that. You don't look like me, or you don't look like this. And we have to change that scenario. So, like I said, learning how to love yourself. So for me, in that moment, I got home after all of that happened, still sad, still crying. And for a couple of days, I went on just hurt and sad because the next couple of PEs, they did not play with me, right? So I had to learn how to kind of be on my own. And that's hard as a little kid because when you used to playing with somebody every day. So I get home one day and my mom realized, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so sad? What's going on? You're not that bubbly little girl that you was came home. And at first I didn't really want to tell her. I'm like, she my mom, she ain't gonna understand, right? But I told her, I said, the girl I used to play with, she's not my friend anymore and stuff like that. And my mom said, well, you know what? I understand that's hard. She said, but you can find some more friends. Learn how to play with yourself. Get out there on that field or PE and whatever you're doing. She said, swing by yourself. But know that as your mother, I love you and you are beautiful. So that's what my mom told me. And then at first I was like, okay, yeah, it's cool. That's my mom. That's what she's supposed to say. So, and as little kids, we did go to church. So that Sunday, after all that happened, I went to church. And we had this lady named Big Mama. And I don't know if they have that today, but back then we had Big Mamas and Medias and whatever. But we had this lady in our church named Big Mama. And Big Mama would give every kid, if they was good in church, a crisp $1 bill. Well, that Sunday, Big Mama came to me and Big Mama said, "What's going on with you, little girl?" And I said, "Nothing." And she said, "No, you're not that same little bubbly girl." So, of course, I told her the same story I told my mama. And she hugged me real tight and she said, "Baby, you is beautiful." Even still, I was hearing it, but I wasn't really understanding. I wasn't even feeling, because I'm like, if I am beautiful, if I am this, why did this little girl treat me how she treated me? So I just kept dealing with that. And then I think it was like a Saturday. We was outside playing. Me and my cousins and my brothers out of outside. And this other little girl walked up that we did not know. And that little girl came up to me and we started playing. And she was like, "I'm new, I'm coming, to school or whatever, thing like that." So as I began to play with her, I met her mom. And her mom would always say, "You are somebody." So when I started hanging out with her, her mom was like, "You are somebody." So I started thinking about, like, okay, yeah, I am somebody. So guess what? The self-shaming changed. And I started saying, you know what? I am somebody and I'm okay with who I am, right? I learned how to just say I am somebody and I am somebody. I'm okay with myself. So that brings me to my second point of saying, guess what? Not only did I have to learn how to love myself, but I had to believe it. So I started believing it. I started believing that, guess what? I am somebody and I'm okay. I'm okay. So I'm in a good mood. I'm moving on. I'm doing my thing. I'm believing in this. And as years go by, I'm in middle school and I'm a little bit older. And now I'm still a little dark skinned. I'm still a little heavy set. But it's okay, because now I'm believing that I am who this lady said I am, right? And it happened again. I'm in middle school, and I had this crush on this guy. I tell you no lie, y'all. I thought he was the cutest thing in middle school. And he shot me down. I was bold enough to go to him and tell him I thought he was cute. And he said, "I don't date dark-skinned fat girls." And that's what he said, right? And I can laugh at that today, right? I can laugh at that today because guess what? Once you start believing in what you say you are, like I said, point number 2, start believing. And when that happened to me, the words that lady said to me, "You are somebody, you beautiful," I took that. And when he said it, at first I was like, I ain't gonna say what I want to say, or I ain't gonna say it on here. But after I said that, I said, you know what? It's okay. It's fine. If he don't like me, that's his problem, not mine. And that's what we gotta do. Believe that if you say to yourself, you are somebody, and you believe in yourself, when people start coming at you with negativity, you can learn how to turn that negativity around and make it into something positive. So I said, guess what? He missing out. Better for me to not be with him. Okay? And this is middle school. So, you young anyway, right? You got so much life ahead of you. But that was my thing. I started believing in myself. So when the next activity happened that was supposed to hurt me and put me down, it did not, right? So, like I said, first and foremost, you got to learn how you love yourself. Number 2, you got to believe what you say to yourself, right? So here I am, an adult, y'all, grown. And you know what? Number 3, I'm rejoicing in who I am. Guess what? All of that stuff that happened in my past is my past. It hurt. But guess what? I got over that. And I love myself. Let me tell you something. These little girls, if you listen to this, you little dark-skinned little girls, little heavy-set little girls, let them know that they cannot hurt you. Stand up, little girl, and say, guess what? I am beautiful. I am whatever you saying I am not, because I know that I'm beautiful. And you keep telling yourself that. And even if there's a teenager out there or a woman out there that's like, oh my God, so many people have hurt me, or they done told me I'm this. You know what? Turn that thing around and say, that's what they believe. But what I believe is I'm beautiful, that I am great, that I am awesome. I was created in God's image. For those of y'all that know the Lord and believe in the Lord, God created us in his image, and that's a good thing. Because what that means is you're not like everybody else. You're not a cookie cutter. You are important. You are you, who you are, all by yourself, because God created you. For every little girl out there who has been talked about, for every teenager, whoever you are, for anybody who has been put down, talked about, and put in some type of situation where maybe you have been bullied because you don't look like what they look like, or you don't look like what they want you to look like, guess what? tell them to kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to get out your face. And tell them, obviously, you must be jealous of the way I look because you keep picking on me. You know what I'm saying? Be good. You know what I'm saying? Be good about that. And stand up. Say what you got to say. Because, baby, here I am at 42 years old, still dark skinned, still a little fat, baby. Got a man, honey, that loves every little bit of it. And I got God in my life. And God told me that you are beautiful. I created you. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was there. I was low. I was down. I was hurt. But I first had to learn how to love myself. I secondly had to believe in it, and I had to learn how to rejoice in who I am. Because if I don't clap for me, who will? If I don't jump for joy for me, who will? If I don't push me, who will? We have to stop letting the negativity sink us so low. And it's okay. It's okay. It's going to hurt. Words hurt. People say that thing, sticks and stones may break my bones, words hurt. No, that's a lie. Words hurt. I don't care what nobody say. Words hurt. When people are talking about you and putting you down, it hurts. And you may try to act like, oh no, I'm all good. No, you're not. It hurts your feelings. It say that. They hurt my feelings. But you take that, be hurt for a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of hours, and come up out of that and say, you know what, I'm going to be all right. I am beautiful. I was created in God's image. And I'm so much better than what I am. And guess what? You will be. I am. I'm standing here before you today to tell you that I kicked that low self-esteem. I kicked that believing in what people said about me. I kicked that. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to believe in the words that I said, and I rejoice in who I am. I am rejoicing. I am loving it. The music come on. I am dancing. I don't care who see me, what I look like, because I love it, and I love myself. And you have to learn how to love yourself. I am being totally serious with y'all. I hope that somebody is listening to this that may feel some kind of way about themselves and they turn that around. Kick that low self-esteem. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what size you is. I do not care. You can love yourself any kind of way. However you look, you can still love yourself. Because see, what I believe is when you start loving yourself and when you start believing in yourself, whatever it is that you need to fix, that you think you need to fix, or whatever you think you need to change, it'll happen. It'll happen. But you first of all got to have confidence in yourself. You got to learn how to walk with whatever you look, however you look. You got to learn how to walk, and you got to learn how to lift your head up. Lift your head up. And when people start picking on you or somebody start putting you down, you tell them, please leave me alone. I don't need that. And keep it moving. And when they get through saying whatever they saying, you turn around and say to yourself, you ain't even got to say it out loud. I'm good. I look good. I'm fine. I don't care what they say. I know what I see and I know who I am and I love myself. Okay? I'm real. Love yourself. Truly. I've been there, but guess what? I have seen the light and I love who I am. Y'all don't know how my husband love up on me, and that makes me feel good every day. But even if he didn't do it, I still have to do it for myself. Okay? Do that for yourself. It's your girl Sharon coming to you, just being real and being serious and opening myself up, because that was my story. I am fat. I am black. But today, I am beautifully dark-skinned and beautifully sized, I guess you could say. I'm happy. I'm happy with myself. I can walk around with my head high. I'm not ashamed of anything, because guess what? I was created in God's image. And if there's anything that I need to change, that's for me to worry about, not nobody else. And I'm just being real. So as always, please like and subscribe. It's your girl Sharon saying, guess what? I may be fat and black, but I love who I am. As I always say, holla at your girl.